Blood type, also known as blood group, is a classification of blood based on the presence and absence of antibodies and inherited antigenic substances on the surface of red blood cells. The most common blood types are A, B, AB, and O. Experts say every individual blood type is determined by the genes inherited from parents. So we ask, do you know your blood type?
I haven't checked on it. Genotype what's that self? There is AA, there is is it AC or something like that?
I haven't checked it.
My blood group is O+.
Do you also know the consequences of not knowing your blood type?
It's important for people to know their blood type because for you to safely transfuse blood, you need to give the appropriate type of blood. There are so many reasons why people need transfusions, some not even planned. People are involved in road traffic accidents, they are unconscious, they bring them here, you have to type the person's blood.
Ruth Eta, a lawyer and mother of 3, is Rhesus negative.
Family of 7, all of us are O negative. And the women, we are 5 women in that family. And I can tell you that all the 5 women, we all have 3 children at the list. So because we all went through this process of the regular checks during pregnancy to be sure that you're not exposed, you and your baby are not exposed. And if there's any exposure, they give you the injection. And also immediately after each delivery, you also are given the injection.
Other women, not as lucky as Ruth, may just keep losing pregnancies without tracing it to this biological factor. And this can be very devastating to expectant couples.
Because if you're O negative, you need to really take this seriously and make sure you follow through what the medical people have provided. Otherwise, you'll find yourself either calling your mother a witch.
I have a young lady who's like a friend of mine in town here. I met her at the time she had lost 2 pregnancies. She was going to a village, which I would not mention now, to give birth. And after her second, she had 2 stillbirths, actually. After the second stillbirth, she told me, she said, "Auntie, I know it's my mother-in-law, and I won't go back. I will have if I get pregnant again, I will give birth in town, in Abuja here." And she went to a primary healthcare center around Dawaki, where they discovered she had the Rhesus negative type. She has a baby. The baby is about a year old now.
Amina has lost 7 pregnancies in 10 years. She obviously did not know she was suffering from Rhesus incompatibility until she was enlightened.
And it occurs in women that have the negative blood Rhesus type. So you have a woman who's O negative, for example, and whose husband is maybe A positive. She has a fetus, carrying a fetus, who is maybe A positive. Now what happens is, for certain reasons, there are certain reasons why the mother's blood and the fetus's blood may mix. For example, miscarriage, abortion. So the positive blood goes into the maternal circulation. The mother's immune system recognizes this baby's blood as foreign and produces antibodies, these fighter cells, against the baby's cells.
What is the level of awareness?
Rhesus Factor, is it a medical stuff or it's a metaphor? I don't understand.
I think that is a deadly disease.
Rhesus Factor, I don't know. I'm not aware.
Although treatment is available to prevent complications, experts say this does not come cheap.
Available, yes. Affordability is relevant. Most study has indicated that the reason why most people don't go for it is because of the cost. So again, I say it's relevant because it depends on the status of the individual coming for such treatment. But that is needed, yes.
To prevent, there's an injection which a woman can have in pregnancy around 28 weeks, then 34 weeks, and then post-delivery, within 72 hours, they should have these injections. As per cost implication, rather, it's expensive. One injection costs about between 20 and 50,000. So it's not everybody that can afford that. Yes, so it's expensive. For treatment, phototherapy for the newly born baby would cost between 5,000 and 10,000 per day.
How can those in need be supported?
We would need to call on the government, yes, to put in place policies, where I am aware that there are some hospitals that offer free antenatal care. So if they can either subsidize significantly or even make it free of charge. There are not so many. The Rhesus negative type is not so common. Yes, the positive type is commoner than the negative.
Government cannot do everything. As you have mentioned, governments have created the platform. NEMA is here. We have the competency. So I would say again that this is the time for Nigerians to actually look inward. Most of the time we think government should carry out responsibility.
The bottom line is, it is very important for people to know their blood type. And for women, experts say, the earlier they know their Rhesus status, the better for proper care and management during and after pregnancy. In Abuja, Elizabeth Iwuga, NTA News.